A long time ago, Jesus traveled from town to town teaching people about God's love. Crowds followed him everywhere. They brought their sick to be healed, asked questions, and listened closely to his stories. One day, after teaching for many hours near the Sea of Galilee, Jesus was very tired. The sun was beginning to set, and the sky glowed orange and pink. Jesus turned to his disciples and said, "Let's go to the other side of the lake." The disciples nodded. They climbed into a boat, and Jesus stepped in behind them. Some of the disciples, like Peter, James, and John, were fishermen. They were used to sailing on this sea. It was their home. As they set out, the boat gently rocked on the calm water. The wind was soft, and the stars began to shine in the night sky. Jesus, exhausted from teaching all day, found a cushion at the back of the boat. He lay down and quickly fell asleep. At first, everything was peaceful, but suddenly the wind began to blow harder. Dark clouds covered the moon and stars. Waves started to rise, crashing against the boat. The sea, once calm, turned wild and dangerous. The disciples grabbed the sides of the boat, trying to keep their balance. Rain poured down from the sky, and the wind howled like a lion. The waves grew bigger and bigger, splashing over the sides of the boat and filling it with water. "Bail out the water," shouted Peter. "We'll sink if we don't." They worked as fast as they could, but the water kept pouring in. Thunder beat into the sky. Lightning flashed across the clouds. The boat rocked so violently that the disciples feared it would break apart. Still, Jesus slept. "Master! Master!" cried the disciples. "We are going to drown!" "Don't you care?" Jesus slowly opened his eyes and sat up. The wind blew fiercely around him, and the rain stung his face. The disciples stared at him in disbelief. How could he sleep through such a terrible storm? Jesus stood up in the boat. The waves still crashed around them, and the boat shook under their feet. Jesus raised his hand and said in a calm, strong voice, "Peace, be still." At once the wind stopped. The rain disappeared. The waves became gentle and quiet, as if the sea itself had heard his voice and obeyed. The boat floated peacefully once again on calm water. The sky cleared and the stars reappeared. The disciples looked at each other in amazement. The storm was gone just like that. Jesus turned to them and asked, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" The disciples felt a mix of wonder and awe. They whispered to one another, "Who is this man? Even the wind and the waves obey him." They had seen Jesus heal people and perform miracles before, but this was different. This was power over nature itself. This was something only God could do. As they continued their journey across the peaceful sea, the disciples thought deeply about what had just happened. They began to understand more clearly that Jesus was not just a great teacher or a miracle worker. He was the Son of God with power over all creation. From that day on, whenever they faced something scary, they remembered the storm and how Jesus had calmed it with just a word. When we are afraid or going through difficult times, we can trust in Jesus. He is always with us, even in the middle of life's storms. Like the disciples, we may feel scared or uncertain, but Jesus has the power to bring peace. All we need to do is have faith and call on him. He may not always calm the storm around us right away, but he will calm our hearts if we trust in him.